Good afternoon, everybody. This is Model Railroad Addict, and coming back here with a most overdue update video. It's been at least 2 months since I've done my last update video, and I have to apologize for that. I was hoping to get one out about every 2 weeks or sooner, but with me and all the moving and stuff we're trying to get done, trying to help my parents get their house done so they can get moved into it, so we can get all their house, everything moved into their house. We've got all the money stuff and all that's all been taken care of. Now it's just a matter of them getting their house completed and everything moved into theirs. Well, it's come to that point now. They are moving. The moving company is coming to their house on May 24th to move everything by the 25th. So they will be totally out of that house by the 25th. My dad told me there's a few things he's going to do to the house before he turns the keys over to us. That they want to get the carpets and all that cleaned. They got to finish. They got to paint one room, and they're going to re-carpet the runners up the stairs and the upstairs landing. So he said take about 2 or 3 days to get all that taken care of, and then he's going to go ahead around the 1st of June, which is a Saturday, I believe, that he's going to go ahead and turn the keys over to us, and we can start getting whatever we want done in it and everything. So it looks to be like the first week of June I will be moving. So obviously all this in here is going to come down, as I've said in previous videos. Over there, I do have actually a section of the basement. It's a room in the basement picked out. I originally was going to do the bigger room in the basement, but you know, having a 7 and 10, 11-year-old, they need some space to run around, and so their rooms are destroyed. So the big room in the basement, we're going to kind of put the TV and the futon and all, and the computer desk and all that out there, and that way they can play their Xbox and their Minecraft and all that out there on the high def TV in that room. And I can go in the other half of the basement where the furnace and all that is in the one room, and then I've got the other room that's about room similar to this, a little bit smaller. It's a 10-foot by 11-foot room, and that's where the train layout's going to go next door. When we move, I'm going to leave that room totally empty. Nothing's going in it. That way, when you get everything situated, moved in the house, I don't care if it's all unboxed or not. Just as long as we're in the house, I can go ahead and start putting some kind of a track plan together, and then start working on some bench work, and the room be empty, so I don't have to worry about moving stuff around when I start getting bench work and stuff put up. But in that room, with it being a 10-foot by 11-foot, obviously this scale is not happening in that room. And as many of you know, the O gauge the O scale's been really kind of my pet peeve. I've really liked it since I kind of got into it a year and a half ago with it. But realistically, in a 10-foot by 11-foot room, you can't do a whole lot with this other than a couple of big ovals around the room and pretty much a couple sidings, and that's it. And realistically, but what I've done is decided to do is about the height of the door. I'm going to put an 8-inch shelf all the way around the top of the room. And using track here, these are 054 curves and the track, I'm just going to go ahead and have this train run around the top of that room. That way I don't have to worry about selling it and getting rid of it, because this stuff will sell on eBay for me, no problem, but it is a pain in the butt to ship this stuff. The size of the boxes they come in, the weight of the engine, you know, by the time you get it all boxed up and shipped, it's just a pain in the butt. So instead of getting rid of it all, I'm just going to run it around the top of the room. I'll have one big train. It'll be like a 22-car train, and this little SD70 ACE, which is one of the newer ones. It's a Proto Sound 3.0. It'll be doing all the work pulling the cars around. If I purchase more cars, it's mostly going to be the Railroad Club cars. I've got enough rolling stock right now to make about a 20-car train. No, wait a minute. 15-car train. If I buy any more rolling stock from here on out for this, it will primarily only be the Railroad Club cars. And that'll probably just be what I collect in O-scale, is the Railroad Club cars. So that's what it is. That's what's going to happen with the O gauge. Not going to do a layout with it. Just going to be an oval around the top of the room. With the rolling stock I currently have, there's some more of it down there. Half them boxes are up here, and the other half is full. Got some cars in it, and you see there's one there and down there. That one's empty. You know, so that's what I'm going to do with the O gauge, and it's just going to go around the top of the room. Can't really remember who gave me that idea to run around top. I think it was Jack off of Train Life, but I think it was him. that gave me that idea. So that's what I'm going to do with that. And that way I don't have to worry about selling this stuff. All right. In here, the HO scale was what I was thought about running in that room. But when I got sitting there thinking of a layout that I wanted to run, I'm talking like an engine facility, 3 or 4, possibly up to 5 industries, a nice little staging yard stuff. And I was having trouble squeezing all that in HO. So as you can see right here, I've got a little bit of HO back here in the back. Back here's a couple trains with some stock rolling freight cars behind it, and the HO track that's all laid through here. Obviously, that's going to come up when I move because it can't stay here, and I'm probably going to get rid of all my HO. And basically what I've got is like I've got that engine right there. That's an MTH Ace Protosound 3.0, and it is it's engine number 48444. That's an Athearn Raider Roll CSX SD50. And then I've got these two right here, the GP38's an Atlas Trainman, and the SD40-2 is a Bachmann. The Bachmann one is a DCC onboard, newer style. The Atlas Trainman, it doesn't have a decoder in it right now. I do have a decoder before it, but every time I put a decoder into that stupid thing, it just stalls and sputters and all kinds of stuff. If I take the decoder out and put the dummy plug back in and run it on this DC track, it runs as smooth as can be. Put a decoder in it, it won't run worth a crap. So I don't know what's up with that one. This one's got a T1 decoder in it. It runs really smooth. And this one has got the Protosound 3.0. Then I got a bunch of rolling stock back here on that train. And on this one, I got a bunch of rolling stock. And the boxes are down here. Most of it's Athearn, Genesis, Exact Rail, MTH. And I got some ready to roll stuff. So I'll probably end up eventually be getting rid of all that. When I pull the track up, I'm going to take it up as neatly as possible for like the switches. I've got that I'll end up getting rid of and all that. This isn't going nowhere because that will run my N-scale trains. I've decided I'm going to run N-scale in that room with O going around the top. That way, with a 10-foot by 11-foot room in N-scale, I can get what I want accomplished with a layout. So I've been purchasing some N-scale over the last couple of months. I actually did some trading with a friend. Traded some HO stuff for some N-scale stuff here today. And this is where I'm at right now. I've got 3 engines. All 3 of them are Katos, or Kato, however you want to pronounce it. All 3 of them are SD70 ACEs. I kind of really like those Aces. Got one HO. There's the 3 boxes for them. I've got a Building America paint scheme one right there. And I have got 2 Heritage ones, the Western Pacific and the Southern Pacific. Those are my 2 engines right now. 3 engines I have right now in N-scale. Planning on running Union Pacific, as you probably couldn't guess. I still have 4 more of the Heritage paint schemes engines to get, because I want to get all 6 of the Heritage paint schemes plus the George Bush, and I want to get that engine with the 8444 in N-scale. So those will probably be my next purchases in engine-wise. All Aces. I think I said once before I really like the SD70 ACE. So, but I got some freight cars here, just a mixture of Atlas, Athearn, micro trains, some Bachmann. I got quite a few those beer can tank cars. Got some BLMA Top gondolas. Just a bunch of freight cars. Did some trade and got these off a friend of mine. And got a crane, Union Pacific crane. And then I also got you can see it's an undecorated crane there. Most of the boxes there. Got a couple of cabooses. Some of them need work. As you can see, like there's wheels missing on the bottom of this one and stuff. Some of them need a little bit of work on some of them that he gave me. But most of them are in really good shape. A couple of them were, I think, weathering jobs that kind of failed. I think he picked this up at a train show for like $1 when he got that, and like another one with a failed weathering job. But for the most part, they're all in really good shape. I did learn something. I did hook every one of these cars up to the back of this train. So basically, the train went all the way around back to here, and I did find out that one Kato engine couldn't pull that many cars. It was just sitting there spinning the wheels on the rails. But the Kato Unitrack is the track I'm using. I've got a couple switches already, and let me go ahead and... Very smooth running engines. Kato makes an excellent HO engine, and they make it even. I mean, I think their N-scale engines are just as good as anybody. Actually, from what I understand, Kato does make the better N-scale engine. So, but it runs really good. They're smooth, and that's what I'm going to be running over there. The beer can ones, I really like them. Hopper cars, obviously like the hopper cars. And be all that, but yeah, it's going to be running Union Pacific when I get it all up over there. Haven't really came up with the track design yet. I just know it's going to be a double main line. These are 12 and 3/8, something like that. 12 3/4, 12 and 3/8, 12 and 5/8. I don't remember exact radius on them. I'd have to look at the paper. I haven't really got into the N-scale stuff quite yet on the thing. I actually got this track thing off of Kato's website so I could do the thing, but it's 12 and 3/8 inch radius, 45 degree curves, which will probably be most of my inner mainline line, and then my outer one will run on those 13 and 3/4 inch curves, because I'll run a double main line next door. Probably use a couple of Kato's double crossovers. Mostly be running their number 6 switches like this, and I'll use Kato's track everywhere. I'm really a fan of Kato Unitrack, especially in N-scale. I know a lot of guys use the Atlas Flex Track. I think it's the code 55, and it looks real. And I mean, I've seen some N-scale layouts on YouTube that look like HO, and if they didn't mention anything in the description that was N-scale or said anything, I mean, there's some of them that look as good as HO that are N-scale. But I'm not going to mess with the flex track and the cork and all that. I'm just going to stick with the Kato Unitrack. When I build the bench work, I'm going to build basically a grid, not an L one, but I'll build a grid design, frame it up, and instead of putting like the OSB like this is using, I'm probably just going to use like 2-inch foam and just glue it right down to the top. And with the N-scale, I think using the 2-inch foam be just fine with no OSB underneath of it or plywood. I'll just do the 1x4 framing and then put the 2-inch foam right on top of it. But thought I'd get you the update. A lot of guys, I had a couple guys were wanting it, so that's it. I'm going to run N-scale for the primary layout. I'm not going to keep any of the HO, and the O gauge will be running around just a single track around the top of it, and that's just primarily because I don't want to have to worry about selling it. HO and stuff, selling that off's no problem. You can ship that stuff out all over the place. But as for the that's a little bit more difficult. People spend $25-30 to buy an O gauge car, but they don't want to spend that $12 to $13 that costs to ship it. They don't realize that. Well, I just got this car for $25, but he's wanting $12 to ship it. And it's a heavier car. It's going to cost a little bit extra money to ship. So, but I'm glad. I'm pretty sure it was Jack that told me that on a prior video or something, but in a comment, but not real sure. I'll give him credit for it anyway. But yeah. So it's N-scale, and a lot of people might say N-scale is a little small. N-scale is a little small. There's really not a lot of sound units in N-scale that you can buy out of the box. You got to take it someplace having sound installed into it. I have seen some sound units on YouTube and N-scale that are really good. There's a guy on Train Life, and he does videos. His name's Alex. He's got a store down in Cincinnati, Ohio called DCC Trains, I think it is. And he installed a sound decoder and an engine similar to this, and it sounds great. I actually contacted him about getting a sound decoder put in it, and I think he says a lock sound, or I'm not sure which one. sound decoder it was, but he said, you know, the price, told me the price of the decoder, what he charges to install it and stuff, and get it all tuned up. And it's going to cost me around $150, $150 to $170 to get a decoder put into a sound decoder, put into an N-scale engine. Might go into that for a couple engines, but not a whole lot. I plan on getting a large fleet of Union Pacific engines. Might jump on some sound on a couple of them, but I won't go all out on them all. So, but I thought go ahead and get this out. Like I say, I had a couple guys asking for an update, and I didn't realize it was that long since I had done an update. And but I'll just show you why. Don't look at my basement. I'm still trying to pack up. But here's exactly why I haven't been doing much update. Is this right here? Yeah, this is my other hobby that I have. That it's my other hobby. So I don't know. You know, bought a new driver over the off season. RBZ driver. Picked me up a new Scotty Cameron putter, and got all brand new TaylorMade irons. And my wife bought me a new TaylorMade golf bag for Christmas. So that's what's been taking up my time here lately. I've been doing a lot of training stuff. With the weather broke, and it's like, okay, we got to go golfing. I've been waiting all winter for that. So when it broke, I mean, it's only been good for about 3 weeks, about a month to play golf, and I've already got 10 rounds under my belt. So we're good to go. So, but until the next one, I'll try to get the update videos coming a little quicker. Like I say, we're going to be moving here in about 45 days, so I'm glad we got a date set. And we can get everything taken care of, so then I can actually start my permanent layout that'll be in my house, and start more videos rolling in. But in the meantime, I can keep buying more rolling stock and engines and stuff in preparation for getting over there. So I'll leave it at that. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it wasn't too long. And until next time, everybody have fun.